The point is, they might be coming for us today, but they're coming for you tomorrow.
Who's there?
Everyone.
How many genders are there?
Well, I have no idea.
I'm always very flattered if people come and say, hey, what are your pronouns? Because you're like, yay!
So are you transgender?
I consider non-binary. We're all the same.
I'm a transgender woman and I am here to be visible. Who are you?
So what brings you out here today?
My son
Okay.
transitioned 9 years ago now, and I need to support him.
How did your son know that he was transgender?
That's a damn good question. As he puts it, I knew something was off, but I'd never heard any words that described it. And then I went to college, and it was like, oh, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Which, it's like anything else. If you don't have the information, you're sitting there going, something's off, but what?
Yeah.
And he worked it out, and he's having a great life.
Love that. So for you, as somebody who maybe didn't grow up with the terminology, like what were your first thoughts when you heard about it?
I volunteer for PFLAG, and I speak in the schools in the Safe Schools program. And the answer to that was I knew he was going to come out. He told me at 90 miles an hour on I-91. I knew it was going to happen, and everything still went great. I mean, I'm not stupid. It was there. But I basically said to him, you are lucky we're not dead. Because, and then I said all the right words, as he put it. He knew I was lying, but he was so glad I said the words anyway. And, take a couple of months, about 5 months later, he was alive up here already. About 5 months later, he was born here.
Wow, that is so brave and beautiful. I love that. So for somebody who is maybe identifying with the gender that they were born with and aren't really sure how to get involved with the trans movement, but they want to be a supporter and an ally, how do they get involved?
Any number of ways. I mean, you can volunteer with organizations, or you can simply say and vote for people who support trans people. You don't let people around you say whatever words they may say. You say, no, wrong, get out of my house if you are going to talk that way.
Absolutely.
There was an old movie, you're a little young, but maybe you've seen Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's a movie about a very rich white girl who brings a black doctor home to get married. Everyone's freaked out, both families, but some friend of the mother's comes in and says, how can you let this get out of my house and don't come back? That's what you got to do. And then you got to talk about it. You got to put it out there. You got to vote for the right people. You got to go to things like this.
What do you think about Donald Trump saying that there's only two genders, and if you don't agree with him, which I'm sure you don't, right?
Nope.
Yeah. How many genders are there?
Well, I have no idea. I will say, even if there are only two genders, that's one more than brain cells that he has. So, I don't know, 5, 10. I don't know all the people who identify as trans or queer, so I can't answer that.
Yeah.
The people I know, I'd say they're about 5.
I love your nail polish as well.
you.
Can you tell our viewers what nail polish this is?
What? Excuse me?
Like what nail polish is it? So people can get that as well.
It is. It's a Dazzle nail polish that my lovely Chinese ladies put on me at their place on 108th and Broadway. I recommend them highly. They give great pedicures. The toes are green. I picked this color.
Toes are green.
My toes
Wow.
are painted green, yeah. I picked this color because, trans, and then, black. I'm a New Yorker.
We got to care about black people as well.
But I'm a New Yorker too, so black is black.
Looks like we're going to start marching now. So, woo, let's go. We're going to get some exercise. A lot of these people need exercise, so this will be really good for them, getting the endorphins pumping. Really awesome.
And yeah, there would be the table out front.
Very brave individuals here, you guys. We're going to start marching now. What brings you out here? You look happy?
I'm trans. I have trans children, and this is us. We're here.
That's amazing. So, if you don't mind me asking, when did you know that your true identity was transgender?
I grew up in a fundamentalist religion, and I fought it for a long time with depression. And I probably say I knew it 10, 12, but didn't believe it and didn't really accept it about myself until probably about 8 years ago.
Okay. And what do you think about conservatives and Trump saying that there's only two genders? And if you think that that's wrong, how many genders are there?
Infinite. Okay. Like, I have an intersex child. There are so many different versions when you just have two genders. Just say there's only two binary things. Science doesn't even say that. I have friends that are XXY. I have friends that are XYY. I have friends that are YYY. You can't say there's only this and only that. I have family members who have ovaries and testes. Like, there's gray. You have to know there's gray because science says there's gray. But the current administration doesn't quite believe in science. So
they're not the party of science. That's very true.
Look, when you have worms in your brain.
Yeah, crazy. I can't believe some of the things that they say. So for people that are ignorant, that are watching and aren't sure how to address someone when they're not sure of their gender identity, how would you recommend that they go up and, approach them and speak to them?
Well, if you need to, you don't always have to address somebody's identity. You can ask. I'm always very flattered if people come and say, hey, what are your pronouns? Because you're like, yay! But you can ask. You can ask. Just don't ask about personal stuff. Nobody needs to know anything more than, like, what you want to be called.
Absolutely. Hi there. How are you? Your shirt stood out to me.
We got a contingent in the back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So why are you against guns?
I'm a photographer and I'm really not comfortable being interviewed.
Okay, but you're wearing a shirt. It's really just stands out.
They're in the back. There's a whole group of them.
Okay.
They're wearing the white and they carry the,
Can gay people not have guns?
I don't have an answer to that question.
Okay. Yeah.
Trans rights.
And
They're better at talking.
okay.
Yeah, hi. I'm out here for trans rights, and because recently I felt that a lot of my rights has been threatened, and it's important to protest, right?
You said you've had a lot of your rights taken away?
Or threatened, right? Especially with schools talking about banning trans sports, and my school also having to deal with those repercussions.
Okay, so they say that.
I'm in District 2, where the parent board is trying to take away trans girls in sports, and that's definitely been felt at my school.
Yeah. So, are you transgender?
I am, yes.
Amazing. And when did you know that you were transgender?
I've kind of always been known. I started wearing skirts when I was 2. I socially transitioned when I was 4. And yeah, I've basically my entire life.
Okay. So was it just that you wanted to wear like skirts, or did you just feel like something was different about you?
My parents say from the first time I saw a skirt, I wanted to wear one. And it's been very nice to have supportive parents. But yeah, that's basically. I started wearing skirts and dresses when I was very young, and then I socially transitioned. Basically, the first time it was suggested. So yeah, I knew.
What do you have to say for people like Donald Trump, who say that there's only two genders, and conservatives and all the religious people? Do you think that that's crazy? And how many genders are there?
I think there's as many genders as people want there to be, right? I think that gender is identity choice, so there shouldn't be a finite amount. And I also think that Republican politicians and random religious people that I've never met should get their hands off my body.
Yeah. So you said that your kids are trans as well?
I have a trans child, yes.
Okay. And what were the signs, and how did you know? How did they start to identify?
From a young child, from a young point, they just never fit in. We knew before they did. The day they came out was a relief to us because we're like, oh my God, they finally figured it out. Like, we sat there and watched it. But I think it was just, they had a lot of angst, a lot of unsure about themselves, where they stood, what their identity was. And luckily, they had trans friends, we had trans community. They asked a lot about trans stuff. So I asked one of my trans friends to come over, hey, can they just meet you? And, you know, see you and ask possibly inappropriate questions because they're 7. And, you know, slowly we just support. You know, you can be you. And then the thing of, you don't have to decide now. Like, gender can be fluid, sexuality can be fluid. What you decide today doesn't mean who you are tomorrow. I'm discovering more about myself every day. My kids are, and I think that's the thing. It's growth and discovery.
Yeah. Do you support children transitioning surgically as minors?
I think if the children's doctors and therapists and parents all agree it's the best case scenario for the child, then it's life-saving. I think if you have a child on the fence, like I'm not sure, then it's best to push things off. You know, but it's the same thing. I have a child who wants an eyebrow ring. And I'm like, hey, that could cause a scar. Let's wait till you are a little bit older. You can accept them. It's not going to cause a scar. So the same thing. Oh, you want top surgery? Let's try binders and trans tape and make sure you like the look. Make sure it's how you like it. Let's talk to your therapist. Let's talk to your doctor. Let's talk to your medical team. And if everybody is in agreement that this is what needs to be done, then that's what needs to be done. But it's not done on minors often. And normally it's only really when needed.
I'm out here to support. I'm an ally. Human rights. Period. So, I'm doing some videos for my YouTube channel. What brings you out here today?
Love, liberation, peace, prosperity, abundance, which is the trans existence. And I'm a doll, I'm trans, and I'm always fight for me and my people.
Absolutely. And how did you know that you were transgender?
I knew I was trans since I was really young, but I didn't have the language to know exactly how to express that until I was older, and I was finally able to know and see it in myself and seek medical care. But it was something that I knew since I was so young that, you know, it's not something that, oh, you're indoctrinated into being trans. Like, I didn't even have the language to know what trans was, and I was trans. So
what were the signs? Like, did you like a certain way of dressing, or like, what was it?
Well, I definitely I like to put on my mom's heels and like do stuff like that, but I also knew that it wasn't okay to do it, and I knew that it wasn't accepted, so I would have to, like, you know, hide those things, and I wasn't able to even express my femininity until into my adulthood.
Yeah, did you feel like you had to transition because you liked those things? Did society make you feel that way?
Not at all. I feel like I had to transition for my own happiness, my own peace, my own self, you know what I mean? To become into my own self and not feel like I had to be anything other than who I wanted to be.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Trump saying that there's only 2 genders?
Well, it's obviously a lie, you know, because we have non-binary people here right now, agender people here right now, people that are non-conforming, you know, right now, people that are existing and that are human lives, and whether or not he wants to see them as human lives doesn't disregard the fact that they're living and breathing and are American citizens.
I prefer to be called princess, but not everybody goes along with that, and it's irritating.
Right? Okay, it's literally.
Yeah, like we should just respect everybody's pronouns. Like, I feel like it's pretty simple.
I agree. Just as much as Trump wants to be called he and him, he should respect anybody else being called whatever they want to be called.
Yeah, well, I think he wants to be called like dictator.
He does. He wants to be called the king, and he's never that.
Yeah, never. I think they're building a wall. Are you guys building a wall?
Sorry?
Are you building a wall for something?
Just blocking traffic.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Very brave. You guys building a wall for
We love you.
the traffic.
Love you. People love telling us how brave we are.
You guys are really really brave. Keep it up. So they hate walls, but they're building a wall blocking traffic. Really interesting. What brings you out here?
Hi, for my trans family, especially
love that.
the kids.
Yeah.
You know, we've lived through so many years, but they're having a much harder time than we did. So
are you transgender?
I consider non-binary, so we're all the same.
Okay.
You know, your experience might be different from mine, but we're all family. So
Yeah, we're all humans, that's for sure.
Thank
So what does it mean for all the ignorant people watching my channel, all the weirdos on the internet, you know? What does it mean to be non-binary?
well, the point is, you know, they might be coming for us today, but they're coming for you tomorrow.
Who's they?
Everyone. So you
Even
know,
these people?
well, these people and everyone out there.
Oh yeah. Well, I won't be going out there. Good thing there's like a wall here.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Can you start again, please?
Yeah, I'm out here doing videos for my YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, you mind telling me what brings you out here?
I'm a transgender woman, and I am here to be visible. Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Amber. I'm with Feminist Rising.
Okay, just want to make sure I don't get any.
Yeah,
Because there are
I'm a
the
friend.
out there. No, just want to make sure. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So, how did you know that you were transgender?
I mean, how do you know that you're alive? I mean, like, it's like, I mean, some of it is like, obviously, there's messages from society that there's a certain message, a certain way of being trans, and then I didn't think that I was that version of trans, and then one day I realized that I am trans because there is a more expansive definition of trans, and then once that made sense, once I added that up, it made sense, and I came out exactly 7 years ago.
So you were an adult?
I was an adult when I realized that I was trans, but I had thoughts that I could connect and make sense of it as a transgender person since I was at least a teenager, or probably even earlier.
Yeah. Do you support children transitioning medically?
Based on in coordination with the responsible adult and medical science in a responsible way, yes.
And what is gender affirming care for those who are ignorant watching and don't really know?
Can I say something just to be a little bit make a
This is a free speech channel.
I mean, yeah, of course. So Elon Musk getting his hair done is gender affirming care. Anything that makes you feel good with your gender is gender affirming care. So every person who gets a boob job, whichever gender they are, if that's what makes them feel good in their gender, it's gender affirming care. It happens to be that the majority of people who get that are not even trans, but people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Anything that makes you feel good in your body that relates to gender is gender affirming care. So anybody who needs that should deserve it. And also healthcare should be free for everybody. It's a right, all kinds of healthcare, whatever you need.
Healthcare should be free for everybody?
Yes.
Who's going to pay for that?
Whoever pays for everything else that society pays.
Us, right? The taxpayers.
Exactly. I just wrote, I don't know, about over $10,000 in taxes just like out of my own pocket. Like I'm not even happy that half of it goes to, but what am I going to do? It's part of being in society, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So for those who aren't really sure if, somebody's gender identity and they want to go up to them and talk to them, how should they approach them?
First of all, if it's possible, they don't need to be approached. Some people just want to mind their own business. But if you want to be nice and kind, then, you can just approach. But the thing is, sometimes you don't even have to know their gender to talk to somebody. I don't know what your gender is, and I'm happy talking to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always necessary to be able to engage with somebody. You can say good morning to somebody without knowing their gender. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, we shouldn't say, sir or ma'am. I heard some other people say we just shouldn't say those.
I mean, I think it's better off without it. I mean, I still use it because I do live in this society. And sometimes I am wrong, actually. So...
What do you think my gender is?
I don't know. You tell me, what is your gender?
Yeah, I'm a woman.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm happy to be part of that.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you so much.
Well,
Appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank you.
Happy to change into the visibility.
Yes, happy. Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's all right. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get the shark in here, too, because that's pretty cool. Is this shark celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility?
Yeah. They're like, that's a blowhard shark, which is kind of a icon for trans people. Okay. I don't know why, it just is that way. I see it online a lot. So yeah, I guess that's why they have it.
Yeah, so how does this shark identify?
It has the 3 colors. Yeah, trans, I guess.
So trans shark.
Trans shark. Well, that's beautiful. Well, yeah, so you guys are transgender, or you're just out here to support?
it's complicated.
Yeah, awesome. Well, in your opinion, you know, there's a lot of craziness going around where people like Donald Trump are saying that there's only 2 genders.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you have to say to people that are ignorant?
Trump can go f himself. Yeah.
You guys agree?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's my honest thoughts.
Okay. How many genders are there?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you could say like infinite, you could say it's like a fixed number, but that's not the point. Like, the point is like...
But not 2, right?
I mean, the point is like accepting people for who they are. So like not 2, yeah, but it doesn't really matter how many genders there are. The point is just like loving people and like caring about like your peers and like supporting each other. Trump can go fuck himself. In my opinion.
Yeah. So if there's somebody who isn't really sure how to approach someone who's not sure of their gender identity, like say I see someone and I'm not totally sure, how should I approach them?
I would just like, do you mean like what pronouns you use for them?
Yeah, like what pronouns, or just like how do I start the conversation?
I would use they, them for them, most likely. And I might ask for their pronouns. Like I might say, or I would introduce myself with my pronouns, which prompts them to use them if they want to. So then it's not putting them on the spot. So I'd be like, Adira, they, them. And then if they wanted to, they could add like, oh yeah, I go by this. But if they didn't want to, they wouldn't have to, you know?
Okay, and for all the people that are watching that aren't sure, how do I use they, them pronouns properly?
Is anyone else good at grammar?
I think it's like, so when you refer to somebody as they, them, you use it like how you would use they, them in a sentence. So like,
yeah, like plural kind of.
Yeah, just change the grammar, I guess.
But instead of like themselves, you say themself. But other than that, it's no different from like referring to a group of people or referring to like oh, they left their umbrella. Because you say they in that situation. You don't say he or she unless you're really old, right?
Okay, you're very happy.
Thank you. I am. I love this. So I have a child that uses they, them pronouns. And as a teacher, I was having a hard time with other grown-ups my age. And I would say to them, it is a singular and a plural. So if you're going to see a new doctor, you don't know the doctor is male or female, you're going to go, I'm going to the doctor. They will tell me what's wrong with me. You're talking about one doctor. Or you have a new professor or a new teacher. You don't know their pronouns yet, so you will use they, them. I'm going to talk to the teacher. They will tell me the assignment. And people need to learn how to say that.
You said you're a teacher. What if the teacher does not identify with Mr. or Mrs.? How do we appropriately? Because usually it's like Mr. Adams or
I
Mrs.
teach in Manhattan, and so you use first names. But it's really what the teacher or professor or whoever, they will tell you what they want. Yeah. You know, you ask them, or they'll introduce themselves as whatever pronoun they want. Yeah. You know? And it's funny because I have a 24-year-old, and when little kids come over to them and go, are you a boy or a girl? And they say neither, little kids are like, okay, thanks. So why can an 8-year-old figure it out, but a 40, 50-year-old can't?
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah. You know, these people are so not open-minded.
Well, I'm 62, so...
Well, I'm talking about the conservatives, you know?
Okay, well, yeah, but, you know...
They're like really closed-minded and weird.
Well, they are, but they already use... See, I'm already using they, but they already use they, them pronouns when they're talking about a singular person. They just don't realize it.
Oh, tell me about your necklace. What is that?
Oh, so this is from a designer. What are they called? Oh, I can't remember their name. I feel like Shebang. And they usually do markets around the city, and I saw these. I had to pick out the ones that look like my boobs. So those were it.
That's awesome.
It took me a while to decide.
Well, great. Amazing. Well, check out Shebang.
Shebang.
Very nice.
Yeah, buy their stuff. They're wonderful.
Yeah. All right. See, their stuff, because you're not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So, exactly. Perfect. Thank you. Bye. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
What brings you out here today?
I don't want to answer questions.
Oh, you don't want to talk to me?
I have really been wanting to marshal for a long time. That's what I'm doing today. A lot of my friends have done it, and I have always wanted to support and serve my community in this particular way. And I love coming out for any sort of pro-trans action that I can.
Yeah, and what is Marshall? Like, what does it mean?
So it's sort of a safety protocol. This is my first time, so I don't know everything yet. I'm still in the learning process. But we kind of maintain a perimeter between the cops and the folks in the parade or protest, just to be the sort of first point of contact there.
Yeah, kind of like a wall to like protect the people inside.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm not marshalling. I'm just here marching. Yeah, being trans and being visible.
Yeah. Well, I see you.
Thank you. I feel seen.
Yes, everybody here is very visible to me. So that's good. Well, yeah. So when did you know that you guys were different or transgender?
Well, I knew that something was wrong with me when I was like...
Wrong with you?
Well, listen, I don't think that now, but back then I felt like something was wrong with me. You know, we're still dealing with that, unpacking. But I felt that from a really young age, probably like 5 or so. And I've realized specifically the sort of weirdness or difference in my gender probably like 4 years ago at this point. And I'm still in the process of figuring out what that means for me, what changes I want to make, if I want to make any changes. But yeah, it's been a really wonderful experience of like just getting to know myself and getting to know other people who have similar experiences to me.
Yeah. Were your friends and family pretty accepting when you came out?
Thankfully, yes. There was definitely like a bit of a learning curve, as I think there is for most people. But my family like operates from the position of supporting me in whatever I'm doing, so they were like trying really, really hard to understand, and I love and appreciate them for that.
Yeah.
My experience, I like didn't know myself very well as a kid. Is like what I'm learning is I just spent so much time in my own head that I like didn't know what was going on around me, or it just none of it made sense to me. And I came into my understanding of my gender when I was in like college. I came out as non-binary, and my family was like pretty accepting. I'm like really lucky. I have a little brother who's also trans, and yeah, my family is like working their very best to like be very understanding and very kind and very accepting.
What do you have to say to people like Donald Trump and all the conservatives that say that there's only 2 genders? What do you think about that?
Well, I would say that that's a very sort of privileged position to come from. I'm glad that you feel that way. If things were that way, life would have been a lot easier for me and for a lot of people who are here today. And I understand that a lot of that understanding just comes from not knowing a lot of trans people, not caring to know a lot of trans people, and I'm definitely open to have conversations with people who don't know about the sort of range of gendered experiences that people can have.
What would you say to those people?
I would say like get creative, just like be gentle with yourself and the people around you, and listen and try thinking about something other than that.
So how many genders are there if there's not 2?
I think there's probably that's probably a different answer depending on who you're asking. It's a really, really complicated thing, and I don't think we're ever going to come down to like a set number of genders that there are. And I think we should release our expectation to be looking for a hard, fast answer to things.
I have to agree. I think that there is no final answer, and that gender can and should be your own individual experience. So, yeah, no final answer.
Some people here have said that they think there's between like 5 and 10, and I had one girl say that there was 1 billion. Do you think we're closer to 1 billion, or do you think that we're closer to 5 to 10?
I think closer to 1 billion, depending, just because of the amount of people that there are in the world.
Like there could be hypothetically as many genders as there are people on this earth, because everyone has their own unique experience.
So like 8.1 billion genders?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's say sure. Fuck it.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. We had some absolutely crazy interactions, but everyone was really, really nice. Like when you go undercover and you act like one of them, they're much nicer to you. So I hope you guys like this kind of different style of video where I don't exactly reveal my true opinions. But if you do want to see more of my uncensored opinions, I will be posting those very, very soon on memberships. I just got access to memberships. There's 3 different levels, 3 different tiers, so you can check those out on my YouTube channel. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. You can always go to my Venmo or my PayPal to donate to me and help me keep coming out here to these crazy events, pay a cameraman, pay security when I need to, or if it's easier, you can just leave a super thanks right below. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the reason I'm able to come out here. Hope you enjoyed.